Today we're going to focus on algebraic factors. So first of all, we need to start off what is a factor. You should know it from the last year and last classes. And every time when you hear the word factor, you should remember division. Okay, so factor, division, they are connected. So let's say 5 is a factor of 15. What does it mean? That means we can divide 15 by 5 with no remainder, okay? So 15 divided by 5 is 3. So we don't have any remainder, we have just natural number, or it might be positive or negative number, so integer as well. So a factor is a number that divides evenly into another number, okay? And in algebra, we need to be able to find the factors of terms and expressions, not only the numbers, okay? And this process is called a factorizing, but we will talk about it later on. We'll focus on the basics first, okay? And before we will start finding factors of terms and expressions, we need to repeat how to find factors of numbers, okay? Okay, so the first question, find all the factors of 24. Okay, so we can divide 24 by 1. Okay, always start from 1, and then if you divide 24 by 1, you will get 24. Okay, we start from the first one and then the biggest one, and we'll go to the middle. And the next one, we can divide it by 2. So 24 divided by 2 is 12. So 2 and 12. Then 24 divided by 3 is 8. So we have 3 and 8. And then 4. If we divide 24 by 4, we have 6. So 4 and 6. And between 4 and 6, we have just 5. Can we divide it into 5? No. So these are all the factors of 24. 24 is the biggest one, and 1 is the smallest one, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factors. Let's go to the next one, 13. So we have 13. We can divide it by 1. If we divide it by 1, we have 13. And then can we divide it into 2? No, 3, no, 4, no, and so on. And this is the prime number, so we can divide it only by itself and 1. So that's it, just only 2 factors. And every single number has at least 2 factors. And the last one, all the factors of 16. Okay, so let's start 1 and 16. We can divide it into 2, and then we have 8. 3, no, 4. Okay, if we divide it into 4, we have 4. So that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors, okay? Okay, so let's do example number 2. And as I said, we need to be able to find factors not only for the numbers, but also for the terms and expressions. So we have 4 terms in here. We have 8x, 12x squared, and 16x to the power of 3. And we need to find another factor. We have one factor, what is 4x. So if 4x is a factor of these terms, find the other factor in the pair, okay? So there are 2 ways to get another factor. So first of all, you can just write down 4x multiplied by what gives you 8x, okay? So 4x is one factor, multiplied by what gives you 8x, okay? So we need to multiply by 2, okay? 2 by 4 is 8 and x. And the second way, this is the first one, the second one is just divide it, okay? When you hear factor, you need to divide, okay? So the second way, it's just 8x divided by 4x, okay? So we can cancel out the x's, and then 8 divided by 4 is 2. So 2 is the other factor. Let's do the next one, 12x squared. So first of all, 4x multiplied by what gives you 12x squared, okay? And x squared is x multiplied by x. So first numbers, okay? 4 multiplied by what gives you 12? So 4 by 3 is 12, and then x multiplied by what gives you x squared? So that's x, okay? And the other way, 12, x squared, we can write down x multiplied by x, and then divide by 4x. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, and x cancelled out, so it is x. Okay? And the last one, 16x to the power of 3. So the same. 4x multiplied by what gives you 16x to the power of 3. Okay? So 4 multiplied by what gives you 16. So this is 4. And then x multiplied by what gives you x to the power of 3. And this is x to the power of 3, okay? And the other way, 16. And instead of x to the power of 3, we can write down x divide by 4x, okay? And then 16 divided by 4 is 4. We can cross it out. And we have x by x on the top, so this is x squared. Okay? Okay, now we know that a is a factor of these terms, and we need to find the other factor, okay? So let's start with the first one. We have 4a squared. So the same, we need to follow method 1 or method 2, whichever you wish. I'll do both, and you take down both into your copy, and then you can choose whichever is easier for you, okay? So a multiplied by what gives you 4a squared, okay? So 4a squared is 4 multiplied by a multiplied by a. If we take 1a from here, what's left, okay? What we leave behind. So that's 4a. That's all we need. So 4a. And the other method is just division, okay? So 4, instead of a squared, we can write down a. Okay, and this is last question. If minus 2y is a factor of these terms, find the other factor, okay? So today you have one factor given, and in this case it's minus 2y. But in the next class you will need to find the factors, okay? They won't be given for you, and we will be doing expressions as well. So first of all, you need to make sure you are able to find a factor of terms. Then we will go to the next step. So minus 12y, and the same, minus 2y multiplied by what gives you minus 12y, okay? So if we take y from here, we have just minus 12. So minus 2 multiplied by what gives you minus 12, okay? So that's 6. And then you can check it out. So minus 2 by 6 is minus 12, and y, okay? And the other method is just dividing. So we have minus 12y divided by minus 2y, okay? So we can cancel the letters, and then minus 12 divided by minus 2. Minus divided by minus is positive, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, the next one, minus 2y multiplied by what gives you minus 6y and y multiplied by y is y squared, so we can always write it down as y multiplied by y, okay? You can use brackets if you wish. It's multiplication, so it's up to you. So we have minus 2 multiplied by what gives you minus 6, so this is 3, and then y multiplied by what gives you y squared, so that's y, okay? And then let's try the other method. So it's minus 6y divided by minus 2y, y, and minus minus 6 divided by 2, 3, and y. Okay, so what's left? Y left, and 3 divided by 2 is 6 divided by 2 is 3. And the last question here we have 4y to the power of 3. The same, minus 2y multiplied by what gives you 4 y to the power of 3, and y to the power of 3 is y. Okay, so first of all, numbers. Minus 2 multiplied by what gives you 4. So that's minus 2. And then y multiplied by what gives you y to the power of 3. So that's y squared, okay? And then dividing 4y divided by minus 2y. And the same, y, and then we have 4 divided by negative 2. So the answer has to be negative. It's minus 2. And what's left on the top? Y to the power of 2. Y, it's y to the power of 2, okay? Okay, so just quick summary. After this video, you should be able to tell me what is a factor. Okay, so this is the first thing. The other thing, you need to be able to list the factors of natural numbers. Okay, so let's say find all the factors of 30, find all the factors of 15, find all the factors of 5, okay, and so on. And what's new for today, you need to be able to find the factors of given terms. Okay, so let's say term is when we have numbers and letters, so let's say 4x, and you need to tell me what is the factor if one factor is given, let's say 2, okay? So if we have one factor, you need to find the other factor of the term. So this is really important. The next class we will go to expressions, and you will need to find all the factors of expressions, okay? So make sure you understand how to find the factors of given term, okay? So terms are less complicated than expressions. And what's more important, you have your rules in here for multiplication and division of integers, okay? So take it down into your copy, please. And you need to remember them. It's really, really important. So as you can see in here, if you multiply 2 positive, the answer is positive. And when you multiply 2 negatives, the answer is positive. So when you have the same signs, so it might be both positive or both negative, the answer is always positive, okay? This is the same rule for division only, multiplication and division only, okay? It doesn't work with adding and subtracting. But if one of them is positive and one of them is negative, the answer is always negative, okay? So for today, that's it. See you tomorrow then.